All right, howdy, this is Baby Snake. I just made this video 2 seconds ago, checked it out, put it on YouTube, and then realized it's extremely blurry. So this is the reshoot. We're going to be talking about data collection in this video. This is not a series on like basic team trials. This is not about even, I would say, like the best team trials. It's just kind of, where are we at with team trials? Where are things going? Like, what are we doing nowadays? I think this is going to be really useful for people in that like top 500 range. Um, I think a lot of people in Earth Legends could benefit from some of this information, which is why I want to put it out there. So without further ado, let's talk about data collection. Now, this is not going to be every kind of data collection that I do. I do a lot of data collection. I do a lot of data analysis. Um, I'm looking at a lot of weird, silly stuff. If you don't know what EAS is, click off this video and go read the team trials guide in the Discord and the team trials Discord because you're going to want to understand that kind of stuff. But a lot of the times when I'm doing races, I'm calculating out where I'm going, where my stats should be, what my expected stat total should be. I'm looking at consistencies on runs. I'm doing a lot of different data collection. I'm not trying to talk about all of that because that's not that big of a deal. If there's anything I can get across to you today, anything at all, it's going to be this. I really want you to start noting down how well your teams are doing. This is all you ignore all this. All this stuff, ignore this. Focus on this. Write down when you do a race, what did your sprint get? What did your mile get? What did your dirt get? What did your medium get? What did your long get? And the total. That's all you got to do. And you will get so much information from this. You will figure out that some teams have high swings and low swings. You'll find out that some teams are super underperforming and really dragging you down. You will see, oh, every time that things go wrong, maybe it's one specific team, maybe it's different teams. If there's nothing else you get, just start doing this. You can close the video now. That's all you need to do. If you're still here, now we can just talk about some of the other options we have here. So next, I like to keep the win-loss rate, especially if you are not winning all of your races consistently. It is good to see who is winning and who's losing more. This is all just to help your intuition. Obviously, you're sitting down, you know who's doing well, you know who's not doing well. You're not stupid, you're picking up what's being put down, but it helps to have that information in front of you. So, add on the win rates. I put 1 for a win, 0 for a loss. And that's because then if I take averages over this data, I'll get the average score for my teams, right? Like here we can see my average sprint score over these 5 races was 146K, which is low. And then for my win and loss rate, we can see that my sprint team only won 60% of the time, which sucks. And we see that my dirt, medium, long, never lose. Down here, I have some stuff about standard deviations. These are useful. These just kind of tell you how big those swings are and, how volatile things are. And, is it a issue with you need your Umas to have the stars aligned to do well? Or are they consistently good? Are they consistently bad? What's on? What's kind of going on? And this just kind of creates a statistical tool called a Bollinger Band. You don't need to worry too much about that. All my charts are messed up right now because I have not updated the ranges on them. Google Sheets is kind of annoying. You gotta like define like where it goes to and like what data it pulls, and if you add stuff it gets out of whack. But right now, it's not too interesting. Eventually we'll be able to see more defined trends, and those can help a lot. My initial push into top 100, I saw all of my I saw this exact kind of thing, like they're all kind of braided together. But then I noticed there was one that was at the bottom constantly. It was my dirt team. It was always below. It was really bad, and it was very noticeable. And fixing it is what got me into top 100. So you don't need to do all this. You really just need to do this. But if you start calculating averages, that can help a lot. As we can see here, my medium team probably doing pretty well. My sprint team probably not so well. My long team, is it doing better than mile? We probably need to collect more data. But yeah, just do this. It's that easy. And then I have one other little sheet that I think is useful. And this is keeping an out of game spreadsheet on your actual UMAs. Now, this might look kind of complicated. Yours does not need to look like this. Yours can be as simple as here's the UMAs on my team, here is their position, and then something that tells you kind of what they're doing. What, I like to put the rank that they're at, and I like to put the E in the EAS there. Like if you just had, Taiki Shuttle is a 16,700, 17.52 pace UMA, you're probably fine. That's probably all you need. I'll go over what's going on in this here real quick. I keep a legend on the right that tells me, at a glance what's going on. We don't use this URA one anymore. This is back when I still had URA UMAs. Now they're all Unity. Low EAS, anybody who is 18 or below, or who has really low alphas, they're going to be put on there. They're people that need to be worked on and improved so that they can score properly. Low score, these are people that are below 15,000 score, because I want to have about 15,000 or more score just to keep my team rank up. Low stats, I stopped caring about. I haven't updated that. It used to be anybody below 4,000 stats, and I haven't kept up with that as much. Priority fix means that the UMA is completely busted and needs to be fixed immediately, and they are not good enough for runs. That any run you do with them will be flawed. Improved just means they just need some improvements. They're good, they're okay, but they could really use some improvements to sparkle. Purple means that they are nearly perfect. They're marginal. They're just on the edge of being where they need to be. And these are UMAs that you're going to have to do like 4 runs banging your head against the wall to improve. Finally, the final builds, these are UMAs that don't touch them. You got the perfect run. There's no reason in touching them again. It's going to take a miracle to get a better run. And the better run might not be that much better. Like you have better things to do. None of these are actually final builds anymore. In fact, actually, all of them are now definitely demoted, but this is all a work in progress. So I like to do that because this is so good when you're sitting there like, oh, what do I need to work on my team? This just tells you like, oh, right, I probably need to work on my gold city. I probably need to work on my Taishin. If I have one that's in this dark gray, it's like, oh shit, I really need to do the air groove. Let me do the air groove right now. I do the rank score just to keep at a glance what's going on. If you need to increase your rank score to hit a good opponent like Verdant, Anton, or whoever else is up in those 240k ranges, this is a good place to start. ES and AS, like I said, if I need to explain EAS to you, you need to go look at a different video. You need to go read that thing. This is a very integral technique to my style of building. I also keep like team-based stuff. This tells you sometimes like, oh wow, that's why the mild team is doing so poorly because they only have 50E. Oh, that's why the dirt team is doing so poorly. They have 48A. Or the medium team is so swingy because their wits are lower. Like that kind of stuff. And then I like to keep track of if people have S's in distance and turf. Those are kind of nice. Just at a glance, it's like, the more S's you have, usually the better, especially for rank. So, if you see somebody has like A, it's like, well, that's potentially an easy thing to fix. Like, oh, I could go improve a grade cap by just getting S, probably. Scenario, this mattered more when we had Ura, and I don't need this anymore. This means 21 effective skill deficit. So right now I want to build all my UMAs to at least 21 effective skills. And I calculate out the difference. So, for example, Airgroove's 19.9, so she has 1.1. Right? She has 1.1 difference. Summer Marzensky has 2.89. Ogre has 4. Gold City has 6. Man, I really need to work on this Gold City. Put that in the dark gray. And then I add all those up to get this. I have, if I were to get everybody to 21 effective skills, I would gain 30.27 effective skills. I calculate out the average wit. I calculate out my bonus, or rather I enter my bonus. I enter my high score. This is the amount of points I should gain from those effective skills. And this is what my current high score plus these additional skills would be. And so if I hit that 860 that I could potentially hit right now, on a really good day and everything goes right, I'd be at 89 or 891,000, which would be very good. It'd be like fourth in the world or something, fourth or fifth or sixth. And so that's, I use this to kind of keep strategic control on things. It tells me like, hey, what is the improvement? Do I need to worry about improving a bunch of UMAs or individual UMAs? Do I need to worry about my team composition? We have this last little bit here. This calculates out my deficits. This is just the difference between triple podium in thousands of points. So for example here, this sprint deficit of 1 means that I got first, second, and fourth place. I was 1 place off of triple podium. So that's 1,000 base points. And then just for even being there, that's another 1,000 points. Anytime these things have anything, it's another 1,000 points. So for example, right here, we have a total of 8 deficits. There's 3 of them, so that's 11. That's 11,000 base points. If I take 11,000 and multiply it by my bonus of 2.36, we see it's 26,000 points I lost out on this run. You see here, on this run, I had 9. I have 2 parts here, so these both add on, so that's 11 again, 26,000 points. There's 8, I could have hit an 840k had my UMAs gotten triple podiums, specifically my sprint. They also lost. It's actually probably more like an 845k because of the winning bonus and everything else. This could have been the run, but it's okay. If you got anything from this, please do this, and I would really encourage you to have something to remind you of what you're even trying to do in team trials. There's 15 UMAs. There's a million different things going on. It's hard to keep track of. You will have so much more success if you just write down, here's what I have, and here's what I want to do. Well, anyway, thank you for watching this video. This did drag on a little bit longer than I expected to, but I appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we actually talk about how to decide on what UMAs we're going with.